Maybe. Yes, this is our symposium programs, second international of political science and public administration symposium, the the final one. We are now. We can make some presentations also, and I will like to know how many people would like to make their presentations. Also, if I can learn this one, maybe in the dialogue one you can share how many presentations we can have. So maybe we can start with Professor Dr. Seda Yıldırım presentations if it is possible. Is it possible?
Hi, I will look now. Can you open share?
Yes, I share. I am sharing.
Wait a minute.
Yes, we can wait. And hello, everyone. Thank you for being in this conference. We are very happy for this. And all your presentations are very important for us. Yes, now also we can talk about our sessions. For example, we have our invited speakers. They are Valentin Vasiliev. He's from Higher School of Security and Economics in Bulgaria. His presentation is about local government system in Bulgaria. And Professor Dr. Mehmet Ocakçı, he's from İstanbul Arel Üniversitesi, Turkey. His presentation is about morphological effects of climate change. And Assistant Professor Dr. Pardip Sain, University of Delhi, India. His presentation is about problems brought by climate change in the Himalayan region. And Mehmet Demir's presentation in Şanlıurfa Metropolitan Municipality, Turkey, is climate change and metropolitan municipalities. So
Hi,
our
dear. I find my video. Sorry for technical problem. I have some. I will share now.
okay, we are
Yes,
listening.
can you see this?
Yes, we are. We see. We are. Uh,
Okay, I started. Is it play?
yes, it start playing. Maybe we can. You can put
Okay,
one.
I think. Huh.
Uh,
Can you see?
we are seeing the ekran, but not the video will be start. I think. Uh-huh.
Wait. Sorry, there is a technical problem, I think. When I found it, I will present later.
Okay, then is there anybody for making any presentations? I think most of the people make their presentations. Priyant, do you like to make your presentation, Priyant?
Yes, I'm ready. Am I
Okay,
audible clearly? Am I
okay,
audible
then
clearly?
yes, we are hearing you clearly.
Yeah.
You can start your presentation.
Yeah, let me just share the PPT.
Yes. You have 10 minutes.
Is my presentation visible?
Yes, visible.
Yeah. So, just a second. So, firstly, a very warm welcome and good afternoon to everyone. So my presentation topic is local governance and the climate impacts on the same, the local governance and climate resilience system. So first and foremost, I would like to go to the objective of this presentation, and that is it introduces us to the localized climate resilience index, LCRI, a very unique index which we work upon. Yeah, a very unique index which we work upon. So first and foremost, LCRI is a system which was developed a long back, but there are some problems or some of the things which are an isolating factor into it, due to which it hasn't been that much effective with the climate governance in different areas. And that's the reason there's also a case study at the end which I have included along with my methodology which I have proposed. So by integrating the qualitative and quantitative data, the LCRI identifies regional strengths, governance gaps, and also the impact of public participation in climate adaptation. The finding highlights of public participation in rural areas and as well as the urban areas in different capacities, which are required to be localized and also to bring in inclusive strategies and actions in order to create a much better climate resilience system. The feedback and also the governance performance metrics. The framework would enable the policymakers across countries to monitor, predict, and also adapt to climate changes, notwithstanding measuring the different kind of situations from place to place. For example, if we take the example of Turkey, if there is a particular flood management system which is embedded into that area, the same management system won't work for Mumbai, because both places are having their own climate resilience system and also their own prevention systems. So this is the reason in order to fill in these gaps from rural areas to urban areas and also from dividing these retrospectives is the main innovation or the idea of this presentation. The local governance strategies focus on the community-driven, region-specific solutions, offering flexibility and rapid response to local climate challenges. But in contrast, the national strategies provide standardized frameworks and also resource allocation, but often lack adaptability to diverse regional needs. Generally, the global strategies are not met into the rural areas. Now, in depth of the policy. So first coming the solution to what we can do in this particular way of working, that is we can create a decentralized decision making, that is to empower the local government with greater autonomy and also with implementing region specific climate solution, reducing reliance on centralized policies. We can create a capacity for building and training all the professionals and different people, giving them the technical insight and also the resources for climate authorities to enhance their ability to manage climate risks effectively. We can create public participation platforms and also establish digital platforms in order to create a better community management. We can also localize the funding mechanisms so that it's easier for different organizations and people to create a more easy and perspectiveful climate resilience strategy. We can also integrate the data systems to create a real-time data sharing model with the different machine learning patterns so that the climate resilience can be created. The effects of the same, It will have an enhanced regional resilience because the localized solutions will also work into the unitary and national solutions. There will be increased community engagement, the reduction of urban rural disparities, and also the global influence. Now, not taking much time, I'll also go into the advantages and disadvantages, as every methodology has its own perspectives of working. For example, the local climate governance will allow tailored region specific solutions to directly address the issue. But in the con or in a disadvantageous way, the coordination challenges also arise when the local strategies diverge from national frameworks, leading to fragmented climate actions across regions. And this can also come into a national oversight because the risk of conflicting policies from place to place will create a missing opportunity into the synergy, which will moreover disrupt the working of the local governance for and also will create a vulnerability to political instability due to the disrupt management system. But majorly it will create a very localized decision making leads to quicker implementation, in which case we can say that the complete central government does not need to take the complete pressure on its own, where the regional governments can distribute the data accordingly of their own places. Now, I will go straight away to the model. So this is the model over here. I know it might not be that much clear because in the presentation, the objects are little smaller. In the paper, you can find it in a larger way. So this is the data structure of the first model. That is, we are taking the qualitative inputs. There will be also quantitative ones like interviews and RSS onto different focus groups of different climate mitigations. For example, maybe people living in Kashmir, people living in Tekirdar, they are having the different pollination on the way of thinking that how the climate is working in their area. Then the data would be integrated and it would be merged for a quantitative insight, and it would be creating a comprehensive data set which further would be given to the machine learning systems and also to the local agencies for preliminary findings and also for testing of the new policies. So the policymakers need to work more and more abrevantly onto this. And the second model is the difference between the national researchers and the local stakeholders with the data collector and analyst, that how they can work on the same. So it is not something very different, but that is how it will work. Now the case study, I have taken two examples of Japan and Turkey respectively. So as Japan, we can see is an island country which experiences several types of climate risks such as earthquakes, tsunamis, typhoons, and etc., and has been a leader in implementation of climate resilience. For example, due to their earthquakes are very common into the place. So the houses are made out of the wooden architecture. So how was this localized? This was localized in a national way that in all different regions, for example, Tokyo or the coastal areas such as Okinawa is there, both have a different system of working. And also the earthquakes which occur has a more higher altitude at the coastal areas than the central location. So thereby the central locations don't need that much amount of adaptation to wooden architectures. Rather than that, we can create a more analyzed level and local level initiative to create architectures which are suitable to the area according to the magnitudes of the earthquake. In the similar way, when we talk about Turkey, it is one of the country which is located across and bordered between Europe and Asia, and is presenting a very territorial characteristics from coastal to mountainous, and also an arid land, which is the beauty of that place. So the variations bring and along a unique set of climate vulnerabilities, because when it is having different regions, it will also have the different climate functionalities, and according to that, the measures should be taken, and that is the main point of the theory. And finally, into the conclusion, not taking much time, the research underscores the pivotal role of local governance in shaping effective climate resilience strategies and emphasizing the need for region specific adaptive solutions instead of a central solution. And the local climate resilience index reveals the significant variations in governance effectiveness across different regions, highlighting the importance of public participation and resource allocation. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. It was very good and very related to our symposium. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you.
And now we can listen the Giuseppe presentation. Giuseppe Orlando, Professor Dr. Giuseppe Orlando. If you are ready, we can listen, Giuseppe.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you. Yes, and we are now seeing you. Hi, how are you?
But let me share, at least let me share the screen because
Yes, first of all, maybe you can the yes, we
okay.
are
And now
uh,
you can see me also, no?
yes, we are seeing you and listening you.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much for the invitation. And then, well, let me present this research that is about renewable energy. Let me see if I can show the full screen. Maybe it's better in this way, correct?
Yes, this is better.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So this is about renewable energy forecasting, and then why we need to forecast renewable energy? Because essentially this energy is random. So differently from other sources of energy, traditional sources like, for example, thermal or atomic energy, uh, this depends very much on the weather or other conditions. So this is a big problem for the grid because sometimes there is too much energy, sometimes there is too little energy. And the problem with that is that the in order to ensure that there is enough energy in the grid, in the electric grid, is required to couple this kind of source with traditional energy, normal with thermal gas energy. Um, this is because, of course, we cannot rely on a random source of energy. So in order to at least to mitigate this problem, well, we have devised a model that is based on this skew-Wasicek model, in which we want to minimize, as I said, the issue related to the fact that the source of energy is random. And then this model is skewed in the sense that we want to have a bias in the forecast in the sense that we want, in the worst case, we want to have more energy than deficit of energy. And then also another result that we want to achieve is to have cost savings because, as I said, if the renewable energy must be coupled with traditional energy, that is, from the cost point of view, is very expensive. And then also we want to decrease CO2 emission. And we used as a database Terna data in 2023 with hourly frequency. And Terna is the dispatcher. In Italy is the company that dispatch the energy from the producer to the consumer. And then these are the keywords. This is the gel classification. And this is what I mentioned before about Terna. And then this is what we want to achieve. We want to achieve this reliability in the grid and integrate renewable sources. And well, about the model I already mentioned, and as well as to reduce cost and CO2 emission. So what is about this ancillary service market? The grid is divided in different zones. And then what we want to achieve with this, we want to achieve that even within some zones, there is enough energy, at least in terms of reserve. And then we want to balance the supply and the demand. And in how can we achieve this? Well, we can forecast what would be the future production, and based on this forecast, future consumption, and based on this forecast, we can make real-time adjustment in the grid. And then when there is a disimbalance, there will be always a fee. So we want to reduce this kind of fee. And then what about this excess generation? Of course, if we don't forecast correct way the production of energy based on renewable sources, then of course, then we will have an excess cost, and this cost is something that we want to avoid. Because of this, as I said, renewable energy, we need to shift from deterministic to probabilistic forecasting. And there are many models that include RIMA, AAN, that is data science, neural network-based models, and other kind of models like, as I mentioned, the Vasicek and so on. And then there are some key studies available in the literature, like Van der Meer, that stress the importance of probabilistic models, and others that stress the usefulness of Arima-Garch models, and then also this model that is the Chen and others that use Vasicek. In our case, this is the model that we propose. And then, well, at the end, we want to forecast, as I said, the renewable energy. We have a skew Brownian motion that is compounded by the volatility. And here we make the integral. Plus this part that is the drift times multiplier. And this is the time. So then we provide for this model, and here we have jumps. And we provide for this model unique mathematically well-defined solution. So regarding this proposed model, we did several tests, and we proved, and we are going to show this, we prove that we can improve forecasting accuracy, and we outperform some traditional models available in the literature. And then also this allows for lower reliance on fossil fuels and, as I said, reduction in financial losses in CO2 emission. One of the indicators that we are going to use is the directional forecasting, that at the end of the day is the number, percentage time of times in which we predict correctly either an increase in the generation of renewable energy or a decrease. So, and this is significant in the sense that we signal with our model, our forecasting model, 1 hour in advance to the producers, whether there would be, or to Terna, that is this dispatcher, we signal whether there would be a reduction in generation of electricity, or an increase in electricity generation. And these are the selected benchmarks. So we took the Rima Garch, the Sarima, because this is a seasonal, and then can capture some patterns. Like, for example, we know that, for example, if there is some snow, or if the weather is bad, that the generation of solar panels will be less. And this is a classical Vasicek model. And we have considered also this jump Vasicek that is much simpler than our model. And then, well, here we can compare the results for the different models. And this is the equation that I showed you before. This is RMSC, and this is the standardized, normalized version of it. And then you can see also the IDX. The IDX, as I said, is how many times we are right in the prediction on the change. So whether we forecast correctly, whether the the stochastic production of renewable energy will increase or decrease in next hour. And then you see 76% of times the prediction is correct. This is better than the Rima-Garch and the other models. And the naive model is essentially the model that says that the next hour would be, in terms of production, exactly the same as this hour. So is a good benchmark in terms of error, but in terms of forecast of changes is a very bad benchmark. And well, you see that our model across all those comparisons is the best one, both in terms of error, we have very small error, as well as in terms of the directionality of forecasting. And here you can see the plot
You have
for
2 minutes. Yes.
Yeah, almost finished. Here you can see the plot of our forecast that you can see here the average, and these are I would say the forecasts that are not around the mean, and our forecasts are quite precise. The quartile are very tiny compared to others. And in addition, they are positively skewed, as I said before, because, for example, let's take this other model, this Vasicek or this Sarima. When the model doesn't forecast correctly the production, in this case, there will be a shortfall. So there won't be available in the grid enough energy. And this is something that no one can afford. And we also implemented this long-short time model that is essentially based on machine learning. And then here we can see that our results are better than the model, the model. And in addition, those models have the problem that do not that are data dependent. So in our case is a closed. We have a closed formula. In that case, instead, is model dependent. Data dependent, sorry. So at the end, let me conclude. This proposed model with jumps reduce significantly forecasting error. We have achieved in this way a better grid management for financial saving as well as CO2. And then future work may involve expanding